All right. I'm gonna read this book. So all parts of people, all parts of people, all parts of people. Good job. Salute. Okay, we here. We about to read the Black Panthers. Portraits from an Unfinished Revolution, edited by Brian Shee and Yohuru Williams. We're going to start with Claudia Chesson Williams. Hey. Got a picture of my mentor, Love Dixon. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let's get into this. Claudia Chesson Williams, born April 23rd, 1951, was a member of the Corona Queens branch of the Black Panther Party. She later worked in the Information Technology Department of Columbia University for 23 years, and then for Green Hope Services for Women and Alternative to Incarceration program. She is part of the Black Panther Commemoration Committee, New York, which hosts an annual film festival to raise money for political prisoners. My neighborhood friend, a sister that I've known since I was about 11 years old, said, Claudia, I want you to go with me. We're going to hear these Panthers speak at PS 92, which was an elementary school in our community. I said, okay, I'll go. I'm down. I listened to these brothers speak. I heard the pitch. I saw the determination. I saw the compassion. I thought, wow, this is the feeling that I used to get when I went to the club and popped my fingers and got on the dance floor. It was the same feeling, except it was bigger than me now. It was bigger than I. It was full of the love for the people. I no longer did what we had. No longer did we have to argue and fight about what are you looking at me for? Don't step on my shoes. This is my block. What set you claim? Now we really had something to fight for. We had people to fight for that was bigger than any gang or any club. We had a goal. We had something to look forward to, which was the betterment of black people. It was most definitely something that I was searching for, but I didn't yet know that I was searching. I didn't find it. It fell on me. That was the first meeting. That's what actually started the wheels of my mind for me to become political. I was rank and file. I did a lot of things. The easiest way to say it is just to imagine worker bees. You got one queen, everybody else works. Rank and file. Those were the worker bees. We did it all. The one thing I enjoyed most was teaching the political education class, PE, on 7th Street in front of the Harlem office. That was the most fruitful, but anything I did, it was for the love of the people. Wherever I was sent, or whatever I had to do, it didn't matter anymore because it was for the love of the people. We were trying to get the word out. If I had to sell 125 papers in a day, I got close to that goal. Then I did a good job. I was originally from Queens and came out of the Corona branch of the Black Panther Party, where the Panther 21 were arrested and went to jail. That's where Tupac mom was part of the Panther 21, in case you didn't know. I know you all know that though. Rest in peace, Tupac, Feeney, Free Tula. When the Panther 21 were arrested and went to jail, in order to keep those offices open and functioning, Panthers were sent all over the city to Harlem. I was one of those Panthers that ended up in the Harlem branch. That's how I got to be there on Wednesday night to give the political education classes. I was extremely nervous the first time, but once I found my voice, then it went like clockwork. A lot of people were in community who were just walking but were like, well, let me stop and see what this little girl is talking about, because I was indeed a little girl at the time. We started off every political education class with the 10-point program, and we ended every political education class with, okay, let me hear from you guys. What do you want to see different in your community? How are you living? Then we would get the feedback, and then we would know how to concentrate our efforts. Rent strikes were crazy, because if you had to live like that, why would you pay rent? We did clothing drives, we did food drives, we did, of course, the breakfast program. There were a lot of other things that happened, and they might have been more meaningful, but the political education class stayed with me. We were outside on the streets in front of the office, but you were giving a class or you were having a talk inside the office, and there were only Panthers around you. The feeling was just different than outside on the streets. The Panthers knew what you were doing because they were Panthers, and they were doing the same thing. Outside, they were constant questions and answers with the people. You had to give yourself up when you were outside in that crowd. You never knew who was going to say, "We don't care about that, and we don't care about you, you need to go away." In April 1969, prominent New York Panthers were arrested and charged with a plot to carry out a series of bombings throughout the city. The charges against all the 21 were eventually dropped, but high bail amounts leading to extended jail time crippled the once vibrant chapter. Then you got the book list. Let's read the book list. Black Panther Party book list. Malcolm X, Frantz Fanon, Malcolm X autobiography, Frantz Fanon, Wretched of the Earth, Kwame Nkrumah, I Speak Freedom, Basil Davidson, The Lost Cities of Africa, Herbert Aptheker, The Nat Turner Slave Revolt. Okay, the autobiography of Malcolm X, I read that. The Wretched of the Earth, I read that. Kwame Nkrumah, I Speak Freedom, I read that. Basil Davidson, The Lost City of Africa, nope. Herbert Aptheker, The Nat Turner Slave Revolt, I read that. Herbert Aptheker, American Negro Slave Revolts, a documentary history of the Negro people in the U.S. Nope, I haven't read that. Lorraine Bennett Jr., Before the Mayflower, I read that. Arna W. Bontemps, American Negro Poetry, Story of the Negro, I read that. E.D. Corrin, Black Moses, The Story of Garvis in the UNI, I read that. W.E.B. Du Bois, Black Reconstruction in America, Souls of Black Folks, The World in Africa. I read 2 of those 3. Basil Davidson, The Black Mother, The Years of the African Slave Trade. Nope. Frantz Fanon, Studies in a Dying Colonialism. Nope. John Hope Franklin, From Slavery to Freedom, Negro in the United States. Nope. C.F. Fraser, Black Bourgeoisie. Yes. Michael Harrington, The Other America. Nope. Marcus Garvey, Garvey and Garveyism, The Philosophy and Opinions of Marcus Garvey. Read that. Melvin Hersovitz, The Myth of the Negro Past. Nope. C.L.R. James, A History of Negro Revolts. Nope. John Hinks, Muntu, The New African Culture. Leroy Jones, Blue People. C.E. Lincoln, Black Muslims in America. Malcolm X Speaks, I read that. Albert Murimi, The Colonizer and the Colonized. No. Kwame Nkrumah, Ghana. William P. Patterson, Recharged Genocide. J.A. Rogers, Africa, Gift to America. World's Great Men of Color, 3C BC to 1946 AD. Wesley Charles H. Negro in Our History. Wilson Carter G. C. Van Wouter, The Strange Career of Jim Crow. Richard Wright, The Native Son. Yeah, so people saying that the Black Panthers don't have African culture, need to knock it off. You can tell by the books they read that they did. Okay, let's get back to the reading. We got a picture. It's been long history. There were a lot of people that did not know where we were coming from and were afraid that if they were seen at the office or they were seen asking questions, they get reprisals and lose their job, that they would end up getting hurt. They were afraid. Things went so fast. Time seemed to accelerate when you're always looking over your shoulder. At this time, it was all-out war against the Panthers, and brothers were being shot down in the streets or set up or going to jail for years. We have brothers in jail since that time, 40, 51 years. We have brothers that we've lost on the inside that we can't let the world forget about. Like Jalil Muta King, Chief Fitzgerald, Mumia Abu-Jamal, Mutulu Shakur, etc. The government said, okay, we're going to lock them up and throw away the key, and nobody will ever care. That's not true. We want them out. We want freedom for all political prisoners. We don't want any more of them to die on the inside, like David Rice, or Mondo Waylanga. That's the biggest injustice. Rest in peace. It's one of my OGs, Mondo Waylanga. I used to write him letters every week, and he used to write me back. Then all of a sudden, he died in prison for a crime he didn't commit. Spent all his life in prison just because he was fighting for economic justice. You know what I'm saying? That's the biggest injustice. They were times that our cadre consisted of almost nothing but women. Shouts out to the women, sister comrades. And that was when the brothers were locked up or had to go underground. I remember being out on a front line against a policeman on horseback and being 6 months pregnant. What we wanted was simple street lights. And we got the community out there and we blocked traffic. I didn't know whether I was going to be trampled and my baby killed, but I knew that I had to be there. I was an active member of the party from 1968 to 1971, and in those few years I aged 10, 15 years. We didn't have much time to be little girls. We went straight to womanhood. Talking about these things is bringing up these feelings, things that I haven't thought about or touched on for a long time. It seems that as you get older and you look back on the things that you've done in your life, you say, oh my God, I could have gotten killed then. When you're young, fear is really not in your vocabulary. And once you look back, you wonder, why wasn't I afraid? You didn't have time to be afraid. It was all about survival. That's pretty much what it was. You worked hard and you grew up fast. Okay, we're going to stop there. That was Claudia Chesson Williams. And we're going to pick it up tomorrow. I'll talk to people.